I have one of my best friends in this business that I actually met whenever we came and started this business around the same time. So I love getting to have her come out. We go live every month, usually on Instagram, but this is our first time going live together here on Facebook. So I'm gonna have her come out and share her story because I know my Facebook friends have not heard her story yet. So her name is Sammy Dean. We like to call her Sammy Dean Fuego, because she is always super fuego, super on fire. And she used to have her own juicing business. So a little backstory for her is she had her juicing business and she actually was going, oh, she's here right now. I'll have her share then. Come on, let's go. It's Sammy Dean!
Bueno, how are we?
Hey, now even better because you're here. And I was just giving everyone a brief intro for you, but I think it's better to share your story, of course. But I was just saying, this is Sammy, everybody. So she's the one who's been like pretty much the sisterhood in this business ever since we got started. Because we got started around the same time, which was around 3.5, almost 4 years ago now. Wow. And she had her own juicing business before this. And I just want you guys to hear from her why she even started a juicing business and then why she got into the water. And a lot of it is very maybe it'll resonate with you, whoever's listening to this, because a lot of it has to do with her health. So
Yes, here we go. Samantha Dean Fuego here. I'm actually tuning in from Orange County, California. This is where I had my juicing business when I invested in my medical device. Let's fast forward almost 4 years ago, and March 28th will be 4 years for me. And yeah, I was just, crushing my juicing business. I was really trying to leverage it. I didn't have the capital in order to make ends meet in that regard. So, I mean, if you guys have ever started a small business, it takes anything from $50,000 to like $75,000 upfront to begin. So there was a lot of money, overhead, advertising, the labels, it was custom made per person. I went from plastic to glass, just invested a lot in machinery that would break, things like that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what can I do to leverage my business? Like, I'm really trying to, I can't make any more money. I'm working at Starbucks 3 a.m. to 11, and then I have 1 hour to walk my dogs, go to CrossFit, and then I juice sometimes for 2 days straight. I don't sleep. It was just a very difficult time in my life trying to be a small business owner in Orange County, California, in Anaheim. And then I met a professional soccer player for the LA Galaxy through Instagram, and he was educating me on all of the professional athletes and the I guess a lot of actors, a lot of famous people have this medical device. And I was like, oh, why? And he was educating me on the health benefits, how 1 cup of this water is equal to the amount of antioxidants in 5 pounds of blueberries. There's 5 at the Dodger Stadium, five at the Angel Stadium, and how it was really big with him and his team. And I had a water distiller, so he was educating me on the detriments of distilled water, and then just sharing water with me. And then I was just sharing it with everybody else. I saw the benefits. I saw the validity and reliability. It was the health why I invested. I started giving it to my friends. My girlfriend, Christina, lost 17 pounds in 3 days. My friend, Lewis, diabetic, severe neuropathy, thyroid issues, 25 years, in a wheelchair, got up out of a wheelchair, was no longer diabetic, pre-diabetic. Just some incredible, miraculous things happened to me and those around me, health-wise, my own story. I had early onset menopausal symptoms. I was taking progestin estrogen pills. I was able to get off my medication. I got my menstrual cycle back after losing it for 10 years. I didn't realize that I was actually unhealthy, right? All of this time, even being 100 pounds my whole life, I didn't know. I thought it was an okay thing because it was just me, like I was a gymnast. We don't have too much, upper body. I mean, we have upper body strength, but, normally we have more lower body. And so I just thought I was normal. But then I started drinking this water. My DNA started transforming, and I started sharing it with people around me. And then I started making a bunch of money, and I was like, what the heck? Like, I made $5,400 in a month and a half. And then in 4 months, I made 10,000. And I was like, is this real? Like, from just sharing water and sharing the information that I'm given. And I didn't realize that what we had and no other team has, we're the #1 team in the nation. we have a funnel where you plug people in. And even before you even know anything about the water, I mean, you know the health, right? That's where you invested, or maybe it's saving you money every day. You have the ability to make, so much money passively, more than your living expenses. And then you realize, like, oh, this is actually what's keeping me, my juicing company afloat. I was making that money. It was helping me pay for overhead and advertising. And then I realized I didn't want to actively make income anymore. I wanted to make passive income where I don't want to always be present to juice, to show up when one of my workers didn't show up. I had to leave my grandmother's birthday to go deliver juices. I was like, no, there has to be something better. And so alongside my juices, I would just share the water, share information. People started buying it. And then that's when I started making money. And then I was like, wow, I can actually sell this stuff online. I'm already posting online. Why don't I switch to online sales, to high ticket? Because my juicing was great, but two juice cleanses was $680, pretty much. And then, what my first check with this company was $680. And I was like, I cried because I was like, wow, the time it takes for me to go get the fruits and vegetables, make sure they're, agricultural, chemical free, make sure that I can afford them, make sure, that I have everything, and then come back. One of the machines hopefully works, hopefully doesn't, go down, and the make sure that I have the labels, all of that stuff. And so pretty soon I found that I was making more passively than my living expenses, but just from this water. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that you could have something in high ticket that allowed you to do that. Something highly motivated, highly profitable, highly enjoyable. That doesn't bring anxiety, doesn't bring depression. It's like super fun. It makes me jump out of bed because not only is it helping others, it's helping the planet, and it's in 26 countries. We can travel and get paid to do it. And so I didn't know that something like this was around. And as we talk about, I'm going to let you get into your story. In low ticket, I was part of those things, not knowing that I was, actually doing the business. I was just sharing like I do every day. My favorite restaurants, my favorite movies. I'm like, hey, have you been here before? Like any crunchy stuff, like, get away from those heat oils, try this. Like that's what I do because I'm in the referral business. And so I didn't know that there was something so much more enjoyable to do online. As a single woman living in survival mode and having her own small business, trying to leverage it, that I could make money helping support my other income streams. So that's my story. I'm really grateful that I was here. I prayed for this opportunity, not knowing that, the Lord was going to come into my life. I always say, you don't go looking for the living water finds you. So if you're on here watching this, maybe you're watching the replay, like do not hesitate. I jumped in. I was like, you know what? Because if I don't do it, who's going to do it? And so I decided to run with it. It's what was the catalyst towards my PhD program. I want to endorse this product, just like some of the other doctors that endorse it, like Dr. Hort Spitzer that invented the vascular heart stent, and Dr. Hiromi Shinya who invented the colonoscopy. There are big people endorsing this, you guys. It's just you don't hear much about it because it's in Japan. So anyways, that's my story. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'm gonna let Delaney take it away so she can give a little bit about her story too, so I can kind of tell my audience, like, there's nothing like this young prodigy. Honestly, I met her when I got started in the business. I had never met her, but she came to stay with me and my family. My family adores her, and I was there throughout her journey and with her husband, and seeing her grow in the Lord and also in this business has brought me so much joy. Now she's one of the top coaches in our business, in our community, and Race to Freedom. And I'm so grateful for all of the value that she has brought. You guys have the best leader in front of you. Do not hesitate. You want to invest, especially with Delaney, especially if you're watching this, because she's going to help you level up. You stay on her calendar, you're going to the top. So thank you, Delaney, for allowing me to be here.
Oh, thanks, Sammy. No, like Sammy's awesome. She got like we were talking about. Me and her just got started around the same time, and she really just rocketed in her business. And like being able to make $10,000 with the water is just so inspiring.
And I've never done that before ever. I'm like, what? This is insane. You don't ever do that. I'm like, this is cool.
This is so cool, right? Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so grateful that you had the time to come and share your story too. And like, look, we have our water right here. Drink a gallon a day, keep the doctors away.
Amen.
Mhm.
Amen. Drink the best quality water.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, a little about my backstory. I got started in this business, 3.5-ish years ago. And I got started because I needed a way to make money. I wasn't health conscious whatsoever. I didn't even care about the health with the water. Like, I had already gone through medical malpractice myself, where I lost 20 pounds in 6 days because of some antibiotics put me on.
Mm.
And I just remember I was sitting in the ER crying, so confused. All the doctors were telling me nothing was wrong, 55 pounds. And of course, something was wrong with me. I couldn't eat, like, food would make me nauseous. I couldn't eat normally for years after that. And I knew I had to intake calories somehow. So I got really addicted to sodas because I was drinking a lot of liquids. That was all I could consume. So when I got hooked on sodas, of course, like, the sugar and all that stuff was just really unhealthy, but I didn't care. I was the kind of person who would drink tap water with no filter. I would microwave it and I would drink it, and I didn't care about my health. Like, I gave up on, like, I thought Brita was fancy. So coming into this business, I didn't have the outlook that most people who get into this business have, which is they're already health conscious. I was looking for a way to make money because I had 2 other businesses before I got started with this one. And my first business, I had a team of around 200 people, but I was only about $600 a month. And with that, it's not
200 people?
200 people, $600 a month, not sustainable, you know?
Yes.
Too little pay for all that hard work. So whenever I switched over to a different company, a different business model, about half of my team came with me, but within a month everybody quit, and I had to start all the way over at square one. And I, like, reached a really low point in my life because I was super depressed. I felt so alone, and I already dropped out of college to go all in with my first businesses. I ran out of money. I spent my life savings building my first 2 businesses, and then, you know, with the medical stuff and all that, I had given up on my health. So I was at a very, very downward spiral. So whenever I and them podcast on Instagram, Ryan, that's whenever he was telling me about the business. And honestly,
Master! Woo!
he told me some really crazy stories about, like, how somebody with their kidney disease had she was, like, on 21 different prescription medications for her kidneys, and in 3 months of her drinking this water, all of her, like, her kidneys went back to normal. All of her levels returned to normal, which was insane because the doctors are just so confused, and they're like, what did you do different? Like, your kidneys look like normal sized kidneys again. And she was like, I literally just changed my water. And so for the last 9 years, they ended up taking her off of all her medication, and she hasn't had to take a single pill for her kidneys since, like, she started on the water. And I heard that and I was like, well, that sounds like some holy water. Like, I don't know what it would do for me.
Amen.
Would it make me eat the same way? Like, so I was really curious about it, but what really got me was the business model, because I needed to make money. I was used to building businesses. I was used to being in the referral-based business, network marketing, MLM. I loved network marketing, and I still love network marketing, but the model that I saw here was a little bit different. It's more like real estate. It's like you're a broker, but in the health field. And it was just a very interesting way to build, and I had never seen anything like it before, even though I've done so many companies in the past. But this was just different because it was not based solely on recruiting. It was like, if I make a sale and someone in my team makes a sale, I get paid either way. Like, I get paid per sale. And he showed me the masterclass trainings, the academy, and I had never had anything like that in the past before with my other companies, because I was always the one having to make things from scratch. So I always had to develop the software, the system. I didn't know what I was doing. So it's like the blind leading the blind, right? But with this, you have 6 and 7-figure earners that have already done it. They're consistently making $10,000 a month. Otherwise, they wouldn't be qualified to train. And we have over 70 trainers inside of Race to Freedom that train us on exactly what they're doing to have the results that they have. So it's not like the blind leading the blind, like how I would just be out there and I'd be like, hey, team of 200 people, follow what I'm doing.
What do I do? Yeah, we don't know. Yes.
I didn't know what I was doing. But these people, they know exactly what they're talking about because they have the results. And we honestly have one of the best teams in the entire profession. And that's just coming from the highest standpoint, but from a statistical standpoint, because we have the most 6-figure earners in our team. Then, like, if you do the math of how many people from our team is in Eric Worre's $100,000 mastermind. Like there was like 90 people in that mastermind, and there was like around 15 of them that came from our team. So just based on statistics, you have to be a six-figure earner first of all to even get into that mastermind, and then you have to pay to get into that mastermind. Like it's so crazy. So like the majority
Amazing.
was the
Fuego.
of that was, so it was just really cool to see that. And so like when I got started with this, I was the highest I had ever made in any other business was $600 a month, right? With a team of 200 people. My first month, I sold to two people, and then I made $2,200. I made 6 times more money than I ever made in any of my other businesses in my very first month doing this. And that was an eye opener for me, because I can literally work at the same effort that I was putting in with my other businesses. I'm putting in the same effort that I was there, and I made 6 times as much. Like that was insanity for me.
And that was like
So
the catalyst for you, right? That was like the epiphany where you're like, well, one of these sales or bust my buns over here, right?
exactly, because I didn't do anything that was super different. I did exactly what my mentor was telling me to do. And I just remember coming into the business, and I just thought, I kind of was like very prideful because I looked down on all the 6As, and I was like, I work so much harder than you. And like, you guys are not as cool as like my uplines in my old company because they work harder than you. But who cares who works harder? These people get paid more. You know, I want what they have. So it was just
I love that.
but it was so cool getting to see that. So yeah, here we are 3.5 years later. We helped over 100 families all over the world get access to these units, and started this whole movement in Atlanta called Make Atlanta Healthy Again. And now we're partnering with other wellness businesses and other just businesses in general in the area that we're really growing and scaling. And it's just so exciting to see. 2025 is going to be one of the biggest years in our business yet. Like I for both me and Sammy, you know?
Man, amen. And if you guys want to come to one of these events, we haven't really talked about it, but we do get together, people in 26 countries. We're going to have our 51st year anniversary. Our 50th year anniversary was actually in Japan, which I just got back from in June. And now we're going to celebrate here in California, in, I think it's San Diego,
Yep.
right?
Yep, San
In San
Diego, Chula Vista.
Diego, Chula Vista. And that's where our amazing, huge, big golf course is. If you guys want to Google it, it's there. You guys can come. Enjoy yourselves at the golf course too. Take a little tour and come and meet people. Like I sat next to somebody that was from Transylvania. I was like, hey, is that where Dracula's from? Like, I don't know where Transylvania is, but like, you know what? I've seen it on TV and the cartoons, you know? And so it's amazing how much you learn from the people that you sit next to, and where they showed me where it was on the map. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm learning and growing every day. Not only am I learning and growing in this business that is amazing, compassionate, kind, humble, 26 countries, that cares about your spiritual health, physical health, mental health, relational health, and financial health, but something that could help you make a lot of money, you know, more passively than your income expenses. And it's like the funnest thing you've ever done. And you get to connect with people from all over the world that you've never met before. I'm like, I like this. I like being the smallest person in the room so that I can grow and learn, so we can bring back, you know, the skills that we learn and teach our teams, you know?
I'm so excited for that event too, because it really helps you see and think bigger. Because when you those rooms, people are making 50,000 sales a month,
These
and
people
you're
are holding these checks for 800,000, y'all.
yeah.
Okay.
And this is not like a one-time check. These are checks that can come and come and come, and it makes you think like, wow, I've been playing small. Like I've been playing towards a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 month. These people are over here having like $800,000 checks.
Bonus checks on top of what they're making every single month, y'all. That's just a bonus check. Like, so yes, come out here and, you know, spend some time with Delaney and I, spend some time with our team, grow bigger. You know, if you're not surrounding yourself with people that are going to help propel you to the next level, like, are you even living, right? Are you part of like the living dead, just like everybody else that are like in a hurry to go nowhere and like they're not leveling up? Like, if you've been waiting for an opportunity, if you have been, you know, searching for new friends, maybe you're done with the lifestyle that you're living and you're ready to level up, like the time is now. It's right now. It's not tomorrow, because you never know. You never know. Tomorrow, we might not even be live. We might not even watch you. You're suspect before you're prospect, bro. Like, for real. So, come on here. Let us know. We want to qualify you, but we just don't know. This might or might not be for you. We don't know. We just gotta figure it out. We gotta see where you're at, where you want to be. You gotta look what that app looks like so that we can help you get there. Otherwise, if you want to live that lifestyle, like, Delaney and I say, maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's not for you right now. And even her, use her as a testament. She wasn't healthy. She wasn't healthy. All she wanted was the money. And maybe you're just really struggling with your finances and you don't care about health. Maybe you're like, you know what? I want to do what she did. I promise you, we all started that way. And then we become some totally radically transformed person that actually cares about health. And all of these bad habits end up like eliminated, but subconsciously. Like, we didn't plan on all these things happening. I didn't plan on not drinking as much as I used to. I used to be a bartender. But now I'm like, gosh, I don't even have time because I'm too busy making people happy, making people an income, helping people get healthy. And that right there is enough for me, is enough for everybody, honestly. And when that happens and you stop leading those bad habits, you can really see, I think the veil is like, opens your eyes so you can see, wow, there's more than just the lifestyle that everybody's living, an acidic lifestyle. There's more about alkalization. It's not alkaline water, it's alkalized water. So ask her why, DM us, let us know if you guys want to come to this event. We still have tickets left. We'll send you the information that you need in order to come out here. And I promise you, anything you spend your money on, you're going to make some strategic partnerships there to pay for all of that. I promise. And whatever you sell, real estate, sell like mango on the side of the road over there. It doesn't matter what you sell. Come over so you can really learn the skills that you need. Okay. Come think bigger.
Yes, come think bigger. And even if you don't have a business, but you've been having this entrepreneurial mindset and you've been wanting to get into something, but you just didn't know what it was, you really don't need to look any farther. This is like hands down the best opportunity I've seen when it comes to getting into the entrepreneurship space, because there's such low overhead and such big potential. And it's like with a very proven everything, 50-year-old company. It's a Japanese company. They plan to be around, because I don't know if you know about Japanese companies, Toyota, Honda, Sony, all these companies have been around forever. And Japanese companies work that way. Even our CEO, Mr. Oshiro, he's already training up his son and that guy's son to take over the company for when he passes away. And Mr. Oshiro is over 80 years old. So they plan to be around for centuries.
It's only in 26 countries, but I can't wait to see how many more countries we expand to in the next couple of years. We're so lucky that we got in when we did, but the most common thing that I hear is we wish that we would have gotten started a long time ago.
Yeah, same. Like, I wish I started so much longer ago, because we would be so much farther along right now. But it's okay.
Exactly. God put us here for a purpose. He put Delaney and I together for a purpose, sisters in Christ, and now we get to share what was shared with us and what works for us. And now we get to build an amazing community in health and wellness when we never otherwise thought we would even be in this situation, So thank you so much, Delaney, for allowing me to be on your live and on your Facebook page, and always share my story with whoever it is that needs to hear it, because I know that there's struggling entrepreneurs out there that have small businesses like juicing companies. And if you have any questions, you guys can always reach out to me and, ask, because it's important to ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you're never going to be able to change your life. You're never going to be able to, find the knowledge that you need in order to impact your life and get behind the wheel of your generational wealth. So I love you, Delaney. Thank you so much again.
Thanks for coming out. And yes, everybody, reach out, get your questions answered, and we'll see you guys again soon.
Yes.